So I wanted to give you a few examples before I kind of got into the actual channel that I'm discussing here, and that channel is called Investigation Discovery. I've always been a researcher. I've always had that kind of a mind. I love puzzles, I love games, I like trying to figure out mysteries. Twice in my life I had a license to be a private detective, and I was also a medic for the military for 4 years, where I worked in a clinic. And that job was being an investigator. And now here I am on YouTube. So of course I'm drawn to investigation discovery because it's basically true crime 24/7. And I went through a patch not long ago where I was watching a lot of these shows, back to back. But I started feeling it have an effect on me. I started feeling a bit of an oppression about myself. And I knew exactly where it was coming from. I was seriously watching too much investigation discovery. Not investigation discovery for you. Again, it's filled with all different kinds of shows. All of them are true crime, and they get pretty grisly. There's some pretty freaky stuff on investigation discovery. But there's tons of other shows out there like CSI, Law and Order, The Closer. There's tons of other shows, Cold Case. So you may be really into watching some of those shows as well. And this is a warning. It's a warning to all of you, and it's something I had to figure out the hard way myself. But it turns out there was a study just a few years ago from Purdue University that suggests that the more we feed this craving for crime drama, the more distorted our views of the criminal justice system become, crime rates overall become distorted in our minds, and we actually become much more fearful of the outside world. Before I continue, I'll point out some of the obvious symbolism here. It's something else I've noticed when you look at a lot of the titles for these shows. There's almost always some form of Illuminati symbolism, usually in the form of the all-seeing eye. And of course, those of us that look into these kinds of things understand that that is not a coincidence either. Glenn Sparks was a professor of communications who studies mass media effects, and Susan Sarapin was a doctoral student in communication. They conducted 103 surveys with jury-eligible adults about their crime television show viewing and their perceptions of crime in the judicial system. Their research was presented at the International Crime, Media, and Popular Culture Studies Conference in Indiana State University. Sarapin says, many people die as a result of being murdered in these types of shows, and we found that heavy TV crime viewers estimated 2.5 times more real-world deaths due to murder than non-viewers. People's perceptions also were distorted in regards to a number of other serious crimes. Heavy TV crime viewers consistently overestimated the frequency of crime in the real world.